Hello everyone. Today is Monday, April 13th, and I'm coming to you with the promised vlog, digging in a little bit to our values. And specifically today I want to cover how our relationship to failure may hinder our performance of Medtelligence company values, because they're extremely aspirational, they're extremely specific, and what I've realized over time watching people and working with people on one-on-ones, I was able to identify patterns where people got stuck in their attempt to execute on these values, because clearly all of you share these values, all of you have them, but some make more progress at different times than other people. So why does that happen, and what can we do to kind of work through that and be on the same page and look at it from a logical perspective? So today we're going to cover sort of people's relationship to failure and why a lot of people don't even try and fail before they get started, as well as kind of going over some examples in our specific industry and our company that we encounter, and then how can we overcome this when our relationship to failure really holds us back from executing on the values in at the highest potential. So you guys all know I circulated the values yesterday, but we have, we show up with a good attitude and get it done, right? That's very much indicating seeing something to completion. Our value number 3, we have a growth mindset. We strive for excellence. That is also implying that something happens and that work product or the quality of what you're producing is excellent, lives up to that qualification, or at least is striving for it, right? We are problem solvers, not problem creators, not problem identifiers, but solvers. Not that you have to go always to someone else, but that you can take something and see it all the way to conclusion to truly solve it. And this goes with being curious, with being creative, by finding ways to say yes. So a lot of these values incorporate the idea of action and deliverables and seeing things to conclusion. So where does this fall apart, right? Why do people have difficulty sometimes? In the book that I quoted for you guys the other day, Success Habits by Napoleon Hill, he pointed out that he said in one of his speeches, how many times do you think someone tries something before they give up? And the answer, based on his 20 plus years of research, was less than 1. And the reason that he found is, for me, very upsetting and saddening, is because the majority of people don't even try. They give up before even giving it a shot because they convince themselves that it's not possible or they can't do it. And so you think that, oh, maybe if I rebound from failure, 10 times I'll be successful. But the truth is, if you rebound from failure once, you're ahead of, I don't know, 90% of the world. What does that mean? Why is that the case? And what my father says about this is a couple things that I find very helpful that I share with you guys from time to time. And one of those is, if it were easy, everyone would do it, right? We're in a industry and in a company that is very progressive and surrounded by a lot of smart people, right? So if we had easy problems, then anyone could handle these problems, and your job security and the talents that you bring wouldn't be the ones that you're necessarily bringing to the table, right? The other thing the Cole family likes to say from my father is, you only fail if you give up. The only time that you can't have a chance to succeed is when you walk away or you let it go. We'll get into that a little bit more as we go through this. But why don't people even start? What is their relationship with failure that causes this to be the case? I found really 2 reasons. Is number 1, they procrastinate. That's a little bit of a lesser issue because it usually ends up getting done just way in the future, even though the time cost or the opportunity value of that procrastination is never known. And it could be high or it could be low, right? The other thing is they don't even start. They think that there's some reason why that they don't get started, and so they use a couple things that we'll go through to not even start on the issue at hand. So let's take a look at why people don't start. The first that I've experienced is they're using past circumstances or experiences as predictors of the future. And while the past can provide helpful hints as to what may happen, because circumstances are never 100% the same, it is unwise and limiting to use past experiences as certain predictions of the future. You can certainly use it for probabilities of something happening, but as Tim Robbins said, if you drive with a rear view mirror, you're going to crash. It is not an accurate predictor. And the more you hold on to, I've experienced this thing before, and so I can predict the future, it just limits your worldview of what can be accomplished, right? And the reason this doesn't work, I'm going to give some examples. One example here is, and then we'll go into why it doesn't work, but one example is, one time Trisha edited my email or my document. She's going to do that again, so I might as well not even do it. She can do it herself, right? Or if a client's mean to me on the phone, I'm never going to talk to them again. They'll never think that I'm as good as Matthias or Cameron or TC, right? So someone else has to deal with it. Or Hosie's going to pick apart my code again. I might as well not give it my best or try to push myself to learn the next thing. Or John didn't deliver on a product timeline that he told me before, so I'm not going to put all my eggs in his basket, even though he guarantees me that it's going to happen, right? And the reason this mindset doesn't work is because people evolve and circumstances are never the same as they were in the past, exactly to a T, right? And so because you and the people you're surrounded with and the circumstances are different, if you see the opportunity to take the advantage of that delta between what's in your head and what is actually evolved, you can be heads and tails above everyone else around you that's using an old mindset. This one thing happened, so it's going to happen again, right? Versus, hey, is this the same situation? And is this person acting the same as I knew them to act in the past? Is it 100% the same thing, right? Because most of the time it's not going to be. That's just against the laws of nature because people change. So the second way that I see people fail before they start is using your own brain to predict the future. This is dangerous because it puts the focus on things that we cannot control versus the things that we can control and know how to do. An example of this that I literally just made up is if you decide, I say on TV, someone's riding their unicycle to Trader Joe's and you think, I can't go to Trader Joe's. I don't have a unicycle. I'm stuck, right? That's what's focusing on what you don't control versus I don't have a unicycle, but I can walk there. I do have a bike. I have both the Uber and Lyft apps on my phone, et cetera, right? That's focusing on the things you do have. And while that's a dramatic example, the idea is very powerful. And the other ways you can know if you're falling into this trap of using your own mind to predict the future, which is impossible, right? Here's some examples, right? He'll never agree to do XYZ. She'll never agree to that. She'll never like it. The developers will get so mad if I submit this ticket again. Client services is going to hate this feature, hate this button. Clients won't like this anyway, so why bother? Leads won't be implementing software right now, so what's the point, right? All of these things are just projections. They're just opinions. They're speculation. And if your position or your perspective changes, so does the world, right? Everything changes if you're willing to look at it from a different place. There are no evidence to a lot of these thoughts. They are just fears, and it's your lizard brain wanting to control and allow you to be as lazy as possible for the situation. But for this part, so we've covered three things that are incredibly important that I want to recap, and then we'll do a second vlog for why do we do this and what can we do to overcome it. So just a quick recap. What do people do? Remember that most people fail before they start. That's terrible, right? It doesn't lead to the most creative, best solutions being had. Why does this happen? Because they procrastinate, because they try to predict the future based on past experiences, and then they try to predict the future based on facts that are in their own brain. And none of these serve the ultimate greatest good of finding the best solution. So next, coming up, we'll find out why do we do this and what we can do to overcome it. So thank you.